Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about how Donald Trump's, well, I was going to say shocking, but it's not shocking to anybody who is looking at pattern recognition. There are people who are shocked today, though. It is astounding that anybody believed Kamala Harris was going to be able to win this election. I really feel like the only way you were able to do that is if you completely disengaged your brain, and we're just not thinking, right? And we're maybe just rolling on emotion, and maybe rolling completely on emotion. I think that's the only way you could have told yourself that Kamala Harris was going to win this election, is by. So what changes? How has our world changed? Well, first of all, our world has changed in a lot more ways than you would expect. So one, there's going to be an elastic snapback. Basically, crime. There are going to be people are going to care about crime. People are going to be arrested and go to jail for crime, I think. And where before it really wasn't happening much, right? And war is immediately going to tamp down, right? We're going to see a lot less war, and the reason why is the world police, the world super police, the world's police force is in effect, right? Like you villains don't just get to villain anymore, right? So war is going to go way down, and inflation is about to go way down, right? So those are very immediate effects, but the ramifications of this are huge. All right, so let me explain a few things. So one, I called this. I was 100% right, and I called a bunch of stuff. So here we go. First of all, celebrities only for president going forward. Celebrities only for presidents. All right. Kamala was just so ridiculously boring. And here's the other issue, right? What Kamala's greatest inability was the inability to go on Joe Rogan for 3 hours, right? Like, it was a big freaking deal. And Donald Trump, at near 80 years old, was able to do that because he's media trained. He's literally a reality TV star. And I'm telling you, nobody is going to want to listen to a Tim Walz. Nobody's going to want to listen to any traditional Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was a very dyed-in-the-wool traditional politician, and I think people are done listening to that, right? They're like, hey, I know you need your information about politics, and they should be knowledgeable and understand bicameral and all these fancy words, but I don't want to talk to them. You get those wonks like away from the microphone, right? Put somebody engaging, beautiful, and smart in front of me, right? They have to have some shine. They have to have some riz. They have to have some flow, right? Like hustle and flow, right? The only people who are who are going to be viable candidates will have hustle and flow, right? And say what you want, Donald Trump had hustle and flow, and Kamala Harris didn't have an ounce of it, none, right? Like, and so this is a very, very big deal. The other thing is the Republican Party is in a coma, right? It's just the Trump party now, right? And I can tell you right now, my take, right? First of all, you should be concerned about Donald Trump dynasty, but not for like 16 to 20 years, right? Barron Trump might be an issue like 20 years from now. But what's going to happen? It already started, right? I think they're going to prep J.D. Vance for an 8-year run, right? Like for 2 successive, So I think J.D. Vance, they're not going to do anything with him as vice president, but he is going to be on 100% blast to become the next president. And I think Donald Trump is smart enough to do that. But it might not be him. It might just be like the Project 2025, where it's work that's done for him and handed to him, right? And so I really think they're going to get J.D. Vance ready. The other thing is, I think that getting him ready is going to start immediately, and the reason why is, I actually think that Donald Trump is going to remain whip crack smart all the way through his term, but I'm not positive at all that he will live through his term. Right, I think Father Time may come for him through health or through some other event. I think it's man. I think it's going to be. I think it's there's the odds are not good that President Trump will actually live through his entire 4-year term. That's just my humble opinion, and I just don't. I don't think the odds, and that is based on the actions we've seen over the last 4 months. There were two. It happened twice, right? And the idea that that's going to stop happening seems ludicrous to me, right? Like, it just seems like that is a pattern that is going to grow. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.